Hi, I'm Vicky.
And I'm Nikki.
And we're the Wildlings.
City Makers is all about cities built by kids for kids.
So what are you waiting for? Get your tools out and let's get making.
Hi, it's Vicky here from Wildlings. I'm here back at the Met in the Maroochydore City Centre. Today we're going to be talking about what makes a city iconic. A city icon is a landmark or cultural monument that represents something special about a place or surrounding region. It's usually something people want to come and see or experience. For example, the Sydney Harbour Bridge and Opera House are iconic to the city of Sydney. Another example is the Eiffel Tower in Paris. What other icons can you think of? As the new Maroochy City Centre grows, so too will its landmark buildings, such as City Hall and other large public art installations that reflect the Sunshine Coast. If you had the job of designing an icon to represent the place that you live, what would you create? It could be a sculpture, a painted mural, or a unique building. It's important to be creative to express how you love about the place that you live. I live on the Sunshine Coast, so I'm thinking about the places and features that make this place so special. To me, the thing I love most about the Sunshine Coast is its beaches and rivers. I love kayaking on Currimundi Lake and fishing on the Maroochy River. The Maroochy River is a special place and continues to be culturally significant to the local Gubbi Gubbi people. So today, we're going to be making our very own working water fountain that symbolises our connection to the Maroochy River and its relevance to the new Maroochydore CBD because it feeds the new city's waterways. To make your water fountain today, you're going to need a few things. The first thing you'll need is around 5 or 6 1.5 litre water bottles. And then you're going to need a hammer and nails. You'll need a Stanley knife to cut through your plastic water bottles. Make sure you ask for a parent's permission and supervision to use a Stanley knife or a pair of scissors. You'll also want to use something like some decorative pebbles if you'd like to decorate the inside of your fountain. And you're also going to need a piece of timber. You could even nail this to a fence if you're allowed to. A star picket, an old fence paling or a bit of timber that your parents might have lying around the house. But today, we're actually going to use this bit of timber that we've upcycled from the local tip shop. At the bottom of your fountain, you'll want to collect the water in a bucket, or you might want to use a plant. Then also going to need a jug or a watering can to start your fountain off. Now the first step is to cut a fairly big hole in the top of each of your water bottles. You're going to need to use a Stanley knife to do this, so you might want to get a parent to do this step for you. If you are going to attempt this step, make sure you have parental supervision, and when you're using the Stanley knife, you want to make sure that you're cutting away from your body and keeping your other hand out of the way as well. In this step, we're going to be nailing our water bottles to our piece of timber. Now there's a few things to keep in mind during this step, and it's going to take a little bit of experimenting to get it right. The first thing to remember is that when the water comes out of one end of your bottle, it has to actually make it into the hole of the second bottle. So it might take a little bit of manoeuvring around to find the exact right spot. It's okay if you make a mistake and it's not working quite right. You can undo them and nail them back on again. The second thing to remember, if you haven't used a hammer and nails before, is that the best way to do it is to make sure that you hold on to the nail slightly to begin with, and you just do a few light taps until the nail has grabbed in the wood. Then you can remove the other hand to keep that one safe and continue using the hammer with a little bit more force until your nail is in your timber. Finished nailing all of the water bottles onto our piece of timber, we've brought the water feature outside. We've made it portable just as the Maroochydore CBD has been built. Now you might want to start thinking about how you're going to decorate your water feature. I've decided to start using some natural elements, so we've added a few natural stones into the bottom of the bottles, and then we've also used a few plants that we've purchased from the local nursery. You might wish to paint yours, in which case you might want to think about what colours represent your city. Now it's time to test our water fountain. sounds just like the Maroochy River, so relaxing. Thanks for making water fountains with us today. I hope you've had a lot of fun. Now, we'd love to see your fountains or your icons that you've made, so please feel free to send in any photos so that we can share your fantastic work. Bye!